GSL 시즌 1 16강전이 드디어 꽃피는 서버에 시작을 합니다.
그렇다면 김주지 선수에게 영상 메시지 한번 갈까요? 3연속 결승 진출을 이뤄냈습니다. 가족들에게도 좀 멋진 모습을 보여주고 싶을 텐데
열심히 하게 된 것 같아요.
제가 울죠. 마지막으로 현재까지 계속 응원해주시는 팬들에게 사실 조성호 선수에게 일찍 일격을 맞으면서
Moving out of the Group B is
축하드립니다.
TY.
많은 분들의 염원이기도 하고 소원이기도 하고 희망이기도 한
GSL의 간판! GSL의 여신! 이현주 캐스터가 바쁜 가운데로 문규리 씨와 함께합니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 반갑습니다.
프로토스 지역입니다.
네, 먼저 소개 부탁드릴게요.
성훈이요.
미남이라고 생각하는 선수 바로
심해지는 것도 있고 이제 편해지는 것도 있는데 콩라인을 탈출하시길 진심으로 바라보겠습니다.
군단의 심장 이후 저그 최초 2회 우승에 도전하며 인생 직진 음료 핫6! 여러분 안녕하세요. 문규리입니다. 9년 동안 함께했던 GSL을 이제 떠나게 됐습니다. 그동안 함께할 수 있어서 굉장히 영광이었고요. 즐거웠고 또 감사했습니다. 저는 떠나지만 남은 GSL 함께 즐기면서 계속 응원할 거고요. 또 저도 잘 사는 모습 계속 보여드리겠습니다. 절대 잊지 못할 GSL 제작진들과 중계진, 코디팀, 또 스타투 선수들과 팬분들까지 정말 감사했습니다. 행복하세요.
Today's matchup, Maru, Nightmare, ByuN, DRG.
Welcome back to the GSL. We are ready now to go into our final match and close out Group A. This is a rematch between ByuN and DRG. Earlier on, ByuN did very quickly actually defeat DRG in two very one-sided games. I'm hoping we have a closer and longer series this time around.
Yeah, so we get a quick overview of the matches we had today. Of course, Maru, the first player advancing from Group A with a 2-0 win over Nightmare and a 2-1 win versus ByuN. And now, as you said, the rematch, ByuN versus DRG. And that first one was very quick. I mean, ByuN with that one killing blow with the Marines just coming through the center of the map with a medevac just kind of pulled the rug out of, I think, not only DRG, but also us. As we didn't expect it to be such a, you know, such a
Smashing
moment. I was trying not to say snap the head.
Snapping of the head. They take their heads and go, they snap them. I like a snapping of the head personally. That's our new thing. He got crushed, man.
Yeah.
But I do feel like looking at the games we just had of DRG, he does seem to be in better form. He was like losing the game before where he could really even get started, especially the first game where ByuN just came out with stimmed Marines and just killed him. It's like, oh.
Yeah, and then the second game going for the proxy hatchery, which it was a good effort, but you know ByuN's defense was just immaculate.
He did a really good job, and Mike rode very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, one player's going to move on, the other is going to be knocked out. This is DRG versus ByuN. And by the way, it's so good to be back here at the GSL.
Yeah, it is really nice.
It's nice.
We had a
lot of downtime. I did get to cast some StarCraft 2 in Katowice. You know, with Artosis and the rest of the casters there. But it's nice to kind of come back home to GSL. And so we're going to get this best of 3 going. And then we're calling it a night.
Yeah, one more match to find out who's going to be the final player advancing from Group A into the round of 8. ByuN versus DRG as we get ready to go to set number 1 on Gresvin.
All right, guys, game 1's ready. Let's do this. DRG versus ByuN.
Shopify Rebellion, ByuN.
This might just be a fast day, Tasteless. There's already an SCV on the map.
Yep. There's already one out there.
Oh, he's going low ground. Okay.
Yeah,
Get a little bit of deja vu.
Yeah. Look at this picture of DRG. He's like, this is how many fingers you need to play Protoss. So we've gotten to see the 4 rooms so far. Which room wins? I think Maru had the best room. as the players play from home.
Yes, certainly. I mean, he was the one that had like all the trophies on the wall, right? Like, what beats that? Competing
Yeah,
in
I mean, it's
GSL.
very fitting. I've seen Maru stream very rarely. I think he must have something in his contract where he like has to stream for 1 hour a month or something.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I remember like seeing like, oh my God, he's on, but he doesn't have his camera on. So I'm like, But like, I guess that's the stream setup room. Okay, so we're gonna go into this game. We have the double barracks here. I mean, right now ByuN's just doing what already worked for him.
Right.
2 racks is out here. We did see him open up with you know, some Reapers to come out and put some pressure on. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's probably a lot of different ways you can take this build and in different directions you can take it as it picks up. But clearly he's very comfortable doing this. This wasn't like a one-off weird style of play set up just for DRG in a one-game situation.
Yeah, he seems very comfortable with this kind of play style, and it's quite safe too, right? You go for those 2 barracks very early. We saw DRG try to punish this in game 2 of their first series by going for a proxy hatch Roach Ravager all in. It was the exact same situation with ByuN having this kind of wall in, 2 barracks and 2 depots on the low ground at a natural expansion. He was still able to hold on. You know, you and I, we were wondering whether he would actually be able to hold it, because so much critical infrastructure just a screen away from a proxy hatchery pumping roaches and pumping ravagers could be deadly. But ByuN's just shown that this is a solid approach for him in TVZ.
Yeah, I kind of thought after that game that we had where he rushed it with the hatchery that he'd be like, oh God, he knows what I'm trying to do. I have to mix it up. But apparently he's just going to keep doing it. And if it's not broken, don't fix it.
In fact, even the 3rd barracks coming down now for ByuN. Following up that command center is some nice Reaper control, is going to net possibly a Link. Even the
Can
drone.
he get a drone? Nope, looks like he's not going to get that one, at least not for now.
Oh, he gets that one.
So not a bad start at all. Back at home, the add-ons are being put on here. Now, I do want to point out, whenever you have you're on the left side of the map, it's like not good for your add-ons. I'm not saying this is going to be punished, but it's just something to point out is that like if you could just run up there and like kill the tech lab before stim's done, kind of feels like you're going to lose the game.
I think it's one of the biggest positional asymmetries in Terran, or in StarCraft 2 when it comes to balance, is Terran's like deciding, or not deciding, but you know, having to deal with being spawned on either the left or the right side of the map and having their add-ons exposed or not exposed.
Because this is like the first 2 add-ons, right? It's the tech lab and the reactor. But yeah, we'll see if this is a factor at all. But you know, whenever I see a game where you have this barrack set up on the outside and then the add-ons are there, I'm always curious like how this is going to go down. Stim is on the way. There are more infantry being made here. And let's not forget, the game that we casted for game 1 between these 2, it was like he just came across the map and killed him. It was on this map, actually, in reverse spawns.
If I'm not mistaken, that game, it was, I think it was 2 barracks at a factory for the medevacs, but this time, instead, ByuN's going to be playing a little bit more heavy on the Marines, and I just want to reiterate what a good job ByuN is doing with these 3 Reapers. Compare this to the game that he played earlier. He's going to get this drone. Oh, is he not?
Well, he's going to go up into this other area here and start to kill these drones.
Man.
Dude, he's getting so much damage. It's actually wild.
Yeah, you almost never see this kind of damage come in from just 3 Reapers. ByuN is just running laps right now around DRG. He's forced so many spores, get created, get canceled. He's killed a creep tumor. He's killed maybe 3 or 4 or 5 drones. Finally, the Reapers will eventually get cleaned up.
Jeez.
But, you know, every single time that he cancels a spore, he's losing like 18 minerals. I mean, that was so much money lost.
It was crazy. Okay, well, it's showtime. Stim is done. I was talking last time about how there's no medevacs with the army, but I'm sure there's going to be 2 medevacs coming out, right?
Not this time.
No. Okay, I'm all right.
Yeah, this time he's going for
I
the
was
3
doing the wrong
barracks.
cast in the wrong game. I should have saved that for this moment. Should
have traded places. But yeah, this time instead, ByuN going for 3 barracks. Just mass Marine here with Stim, combat shields.
Now,
be finished as well.
There's no escape route. You know, if he can get outnumbered here, he just loses this. But let's see what he can actually do. He's going to gun down that first queen. Nice micro so far. Another queen falls. State.
Oh my goodness.
Dude.
ByuN is so good. Just coming in here with these Stim Marines. I think eventually they will get cleaned up, but the question is, will it be too much damage before then as they just continue to destroy these drones? 8 going down, every single queen. I mean, this This might just be game ending. I mean, that just turned it on its head.
So many kills, man.
18 drones dead so far this game, 14 from that push, 4 more from the Reapers, and ByuN is just in the driver's seat right now.
I gotta say, he's making this look so easy, and he's making DRG look so not prepared. And of course now we're gonna have, he's actually gonna cancel the add-on to just make 1 medevac. He just wants a little bit of sustain because he knows at this point in time, if he's making any drones, he's just gonna come back there and kill him.
It's all about tempo right now here for ByuN. DRG sitting at 43 drones. He would love to add some more, but he can't afford to. He has to build Lings or he's gonna die.
Okay, the infantry's coming down. He should, I think, no matter what, be able to deny the space, right? There's not even creep over here.
Off creep for sure.
Yeah.
Stim comes in. Marine's gonna get kited into the mineral line using this hatchery almost as a shield, and with so many Lings getting bled out.
Oh my God. You know, and now he's gonna come out here and try to get the queen. I mean, look, you know, it is a bit of a trade, but I mean, the truth is, like, this is so much damage for just a couple Marines.
This is an elimination match, so DRG is just going to keep fighting, but this game is not going his way by any means, and now that a medevac and 2 tanks are also entering the field, things are just going to get darker here for DRG.
Yeah. So we've got the push coming across the map now, and I mean, I can't imagine that DRG is going to survive. I mean, he's taking so much damage right now.
Finally does have upgrades kicking in from that evolution chamber, but this tank position with all these Marines, I'm not sure this is a breakable position anymore here for DRG. Alien Nest halfway done, but he doesn't have time for that because this hatchery already half HP. Lings are going to try and get us around on the Marines, and they do clean up a lot of them, but that's not going to be enough. GG is called, and ByuN, with a fantastic early game, is just going to push into a 1-0 lead.
I feel like we've never seen early game like this, TVZ.
Well, 3 Reapers canceled maybe double-digit Spore Crawlers, which sounds like it should be an exaggeration, but I don't think it is. And
no,
also
I
killed
think you're
4
probably right.
drones and a creep tumor, one of the first creep tumors.
And then he killed off every queen with the first the stim combat shields push.
That was crazy.
But the thing is, this should not work. You know.
It's one of the advantages of going for this opening, though, as DRG, is it's kind of similar to, you know how we talk about Protoss, how you go for that cybernetics core, that you can branch out in all these different ways.
Right.
ByuN is kind of playing the same way with his 2 racks opening on the low ground, where in the first game that he played this style, he opted to go for faster factory, faster starport, got those medevacs out and went for drops. In this game, it was just nothing but pure Marines, and as Zerg, you have to be prepared for both of those possible outcomes.
Yeah. It's crazy to me that that's the second game that we've seen him basically lose like that. I know it wasn't exactly the same, but it's like the same idea, right? He just gets infantry and comes across the map, and you're like, oh God, and everything starts to get killed. We need to see a much more conservative DRG here. I don't know if he's just droning too hard. The fact that the Reapers are even doing as much as they are, it's crazy.
Yeah, the Reapers, I feel like, never should be able to get that much damage done. 4 drones is just absurd, even if it is 3 Reapers.
When the Spore canceled that many times?
Yeah.
What am I even watching?
Unbelievable. I mean, DRG's Spore Micro was top-notch. There were many times where I thought that drones were going to go down and he would somehow miraculously be able to cancel the Spore and then build another one in time to save it. But he's going to have to tighten up if he wants to beat ByuN. Match point now.
All right, guys, we're going to go to Baby Lawn. Let's do this.
Baby Lawn.
Shopify Rebellion, ByuN.
All right, get ready. We're going to do that joke again with DRG. Because we're not going to be able to use this photo again if he loses. Hey, DRG, how many fingers does it need to play
Club
Protoss?
MD, DRG.
This many.
Doesn't get old. You ever see those Photoshops with the Protoss keyboard where it's just like
I love this meme.
F21A.
Have you seen that? There's an old GIF meme of it looks like it's from PlayStation 1 or something, but some guy who's supposed to be the cool guy from I don't know, the late 90s, and he's got frosted tips on his hair, and he's playing with a controller and he's moving his body around as he plays the game, and it's it's going between shots of him and then shots of like a stasis is in a circle around an army, and then a storm comes down the middle of it. It's so funny.
Oh, that's good.
Just the whole idea that like Protoss don't need any keys to do anything. It's like not even true, but it's just so funny. It's like this meme that's gone on forever.
Oh, I wonder how far I could get with a controller, though. I mean, legitimately, 'cause I once, a long time ago, I was playing Dota 2, you know, just like casually. This was like 2012, 2013, just to like wind down after playing StarCraft. And I had an Xbox controller at home, and I found some program that allowed me to remap the keys, and I was playing Dota with an Xbox controller, and I was not good. I think I got
so funny.
I think I got put in like low priority matchmaking after doing that. I bet I would do a better job with Protoss.
I would wonder, yeah, like if we could get. I mean, we did this sort of a Tasteless LAN party with the StarCraft 64.
That's right.
You know, where it's like, all right, well, this is kind of weird, but if you could do something like with a DDR pad, or like you get some kind of crazy controller setup where you have like, you know, I don't know, wands, and I don't know what you could do, but it would be so funny to set up some kind of alternative way to play and then have a tournament and cast it. So we've got the command center coming down now. This was, well, yeah, I mean, I guess ByuN's doing kind of the same thing again. I guess he's totally comfortable with this being the way he's going to approach the game.
It's worked every single game so far. Why not? So it will be 3 Reapers again for ByuN. Low ground CC, Marine follow-up. Second refinery in production, and yep, that's going to be a factory. So it won't be exactly what we saw last game. It might be something a little more similar to what we saw in the first series that ByuN and DRG played, but I mean, who knows? Like for ByuN right now, this kind of seems to be his bread and butter. So I wouldn't be surprised if he had even one additional variant just prepared for this.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably got like a range of different things he can try out. These links, by the way, are going to try to come around from underneath, see if he can sandwich them here. Can he actually get this set up?
He's going to go for it.
That was disappointing. All right.
So fun.
So much build-up for this.
It's so fun watching slowlings try to get the get a jump on.
Try to really do anything, you know.
Well, ByuN's going to pick up a couple more lane kills here. DRG does want to preserve as much HP on that hatchery as possible.
He does not lose a single Reaper. Those Reapers are going to regen. Oh, never mind. He gets a kill on one of them.
And one Reaper does go fall. And until ByuN wants to kind of jump up into the main base and get a better picture of exactly what the game plan is for DRG, he wanted to do that through the natural, but instead just going to come up into the main. Get a good idea of what the lay of the land is here. One more link for his trouble.
All right, so these Reapers are going to go ahead and leave. Stim starts. Honestly, a decent amount of damage. I mean, just even taking out those lings. It's something, right? And from here we have, it's 3 command centers, so, you know, this is not one where he should necessarily be able to come out and do that much damage right away. He's going to be a bit more of a macro mode here, probably hoping that after DRG loses 2 games, like straight up in mid-game to pushes, that maybe DRG is going to be way too conservative and not make enough drones.
If I'm not mistaken, though, I think this is actually the exact same setup that he had in that one game where he pushed with one fell swoop those first 2 medevacs and a ton of Marines.
Yeah,
and just plowed through. So, I mean, DRG, right now, it just feels like he's the player that has to make adjustments. I don't know if, as you said, maybe he's droning too hard. Maybe the baneling timings aren't right. Maybe the upgrade timings aren't right. But
it's funny because we cast so many games where the Zerg just barely holds that when I saw that happen, I'm like, what? Okay, something's wrong. It wasn't something I picked up on right away.
And it's twice in a row, too. It's 2 different games.
Yeah, it's like, do you not know how to stop pressure from Terran early on? I mean, this is like not an unusual time for them to come out on the map. By the way, the 4th base is being taken down here. This is a good 4th base spot. You know, there's not that much creep over there, which could be worrisome, but it is a pretty long travel distance.
First 2 medevacs coming up. Stim pack done as well, as ByuN's going to try and start exerting some pressure on the map. Always love trying to see Marines go after slow overlords, too.
Oh, yeah.
Slow overlords and like slow lings are both so comical when they try to get
Well, it's almost
done.
like these things are not even good. You shouldn't even make these until you have the upgrades for them, you know? Okay, so he's coming out on the map now. And I would imagine, I mean, see the DRG can adapt. I mean, he should have an easier time trying to hold this. This is a lot more queens.
A lot more queens, a lot more lings, so this push is not going to get anything close.
Ooh, hold on. He got off creep there. You got to be careful.
It's true. Careful those transfuses. Auto turret in the main base will pick off 2 drones, but DRG playing a much more conservative game right now. Isn't really in a position where too much damage is going to come his way, save maybe this Raven.
Okay, so the Terran's backed off. Now, you shouldn't be able to commit to anywhere if you've got a third command center out that fast. I mean, if you could actually come out and put pressure on and be expanding like that, this would be crazy busted, but that's not the ebb and flow of a StarCraft game, not if the Zerg's playing correctly. But the third base is going to be kicking in, and we're starting to see the Terran power up. In fact, 1-1 is just around the corner here for Terran. We can see it's finishing up here for the Zerg, so at least DRG is going to be able to match that.
Yeah, there will be a small window where DRG has an upgrade advantage, but I'm wondering if he even wants to try and push that right now because he's pretty happily taking a 5th base. You know, everything's going his way right now. ByuN is staying on his side of the map, and actually hold that thought, Tasteless, as the supply depot stays down. All these lings are flooding in, and DRG is going to be trading these. Actually, no ramp at the top of the, or no wall at the top of the ramp either, so these are going to get into the main base.
Yeah, and that entire army is turning around right now. This is so brutal. The Lings are going to come in here. It looks like they're going to be hitting that eBay, maybe able to deny these upgrades.
Oh, boy. Things went off the rails for ByuN in a hurry here. Even Siege tanks getting rallied across the map and caught.
Yeah, he was basically ready to do that full-on push to try to close the game out. 1-1 does get finished, but sorry,
Armor
was denied. Armor got denied, excuse me.
10 SV is down right now for ByuN. DRG, he is trading a lot of units to get this damage done. That was a lot of Zerglings that went down. The question is, will ByuN actually be able to use this new discrepancy in army supply to find counter damage? I'm not sure if he will because his army is all the way back in his main base.
I mean, that may be costing ByuN the game, to be totally honest. You know, we were supposed to be in the middle of a push that maybe would win the game here, but with that counterattack, the fact that that depot wasn't up, the fact that when you pointed this out, State, that there was no depots up on the ramp, so there was no second line of defense. I mean, so many workers killed, upgrades denied, but it's going to finally be ByuN's turn now. He is going to drop up into the main, and I would assume he's going to have a follow-up push down somewhere else on the map with this as well.
And going for a triple drop right now is ByuN here in the main base of DRG. DRG, 3 queens are in position to defend this. Ling's now flooding in. 1 queen will fall, but it looks like DRG should be able to deflect this without too much problem. That 1 medevac so close to getting taken down. 6 HP.
I do feel like DRG has brought this game to a place where he's very safe.
Absolutely.
I think he's in really good shape right now. ByuN is having a hard time playing catch-up, especially interrupting that upgrade. We just now see 2-2 is done over here for the Zerg, which means 3-3 is going to be just around the corner. This is going to be a tough game from ByuN. I think we're probably going to be going to game 3. Not trying to call it too soon here, but it's definitely looking like that.
It certainly does feel that way. DRG playing a much tighter game than he did earlier in his series against ByuN right now. In a pretty commanding position, and you know, infantry armor level 1 now finally getting finished here. And Tasteless, I think the win condition for ByuN is basically him just trying to hunker down, get his hands on up to 8 or 10 gas geysers, and just play for the ultra late game, super cost-efficient army compositions, because you know, he's lost so much steam that unless there's some big engagement that DRG just absolutely throws away swaths of units, I don't see ByuN really getting an opportunity to get much done. The creep spread is superb here for DRG, and the map control is just firmly in his favor. Even coming in now to attack the 4th base here of ByuN. Banelings rolling in.
Yeah, these Banes are going to come down now. This is a lot of damage. These tanks, some of them very much so exposed. Even tanks on the high ground now getting surrounded. Infantry pulling away. SCV is getting destroyed. I mean, this is rough. And I'll tell you what, DRG is not done yet. I don't even know that these SCVs can get away.
Do a little ring around the rosy right there to try to find their way over here to the 3rd base. But there's Banelings here as well with 35. Now 41 SCVs falling, and I think with those SCVs falling, so falls ByuN's hopes of trying to drag this one out into a supreme late game where Terran can win, because you know, DRG right now is sitting on 80 workers to the 50 of ByuN with Vipers underway, with adrenal glands almost complete. you got to think that the swarm is just going to keep coming.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, there were so many tanks back there. So many of them were picked off, and resetting that tank count makes you so much more exposed, right? You're not able to shell them from a distance. And it looks like he's going to be setting up for another attack to come in here right now. Zerg nearly maxed out here. A lot more Bane started as well. Not even any SCVs mining at that base, by the way.
Yeah, and that's a good thing for ByuN too, because there's even more Lings and Banes coming in. Blinding Cloud goes down on that siege tank. ByuN trying to kite back into the Liberator range, but he just has so few bio. That's going to be it. GG is called, and we are going to a Game 3.
Hell yes. Game 3 is upon us. I'm really glad to see that DRG stepped it up. I was getting a little bit worried. It's like, you're not supposed to just lose in mid-game to Terran over and over again.
Right.
Like, but, you know, in that last game, ByuN did do a pretty quick third base. He did, that counterattack did get in there. It did throw him off. I don't know if DRG dies out there, if that push is actually able to come out.
Yeah, I don't think really any player is advantaged too much if that Ling run by doesn't go into the natural base. I think it's just an even game. Whoever plays best is going to win that one match. But, you know, you go for a Ling flood like that, especially right after you finish 1-1, it's going to be deadly with, you know, an open natural ramp, and then the ramp leading into the main base, also not having a supply depot wall on it. ByuN just lost all momentum that he had in that game and a fat chunk of his army, his eco supply. It was, there's not really coming back from that.
DRG got to where he needed to be, for sure. And he crushed. He looked fantastic. And so now we go to the final map. I'm glad to see that we're getting DRG playing like we're used to seeing him play. From ByuN here, I mean, are we just going to have another double racks at the natural entrance? 3 Reapers made? Is he going to keep trying to do this? Does he have any kind of cheese he wants to implore?
I could see it going either way, you know. The 2x opening, I don't think that was really anything that went off the rails for him in that game. His opening seemed fine. He got decent damage done. He was in a good position there in the mid game. It was just one mistake, letting all those Lings come into the ramp. Kind of made him lose all steam, all firepower. So if we could just tighten it up, we might just see him go for 2x again, but who knows, man. It's ByuN. He can do something crazy.
Neo-Humanity is going to be our final map of the evening. One of these two players moves on, either ByuN or DRG. Let's find out who survives.
Shopify Rebellion, ByuN.
Hey, DRG. How many fingers do I need to have to play Protoss?
Club Envy, DRG.
I hope DRG wins. Just do it every
We're
player
just doing this
introduction.
every time.
I love after you make this joke too. They always go to the player shop. DRG just looking completely unimpressed,
Yeah.
just a blank, expressionless, focused on the game. All right, well, ByuN going for the same kind of low ground style here, dropping that barracks at the natural base.
Yeah.
We'll see if he does 2
Is there
racks.
going to be 2? I thought he went 2 racks before gas. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess I am wrong. Okay, so yeah, that would make sense. Otherwise, the Reaper couldn't. You wouldn't have gas for the Reaper in time. So he's doing the same thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. It has been working for him all night long, and he's already proven that he has different kind of ways he can branch out from this position. And those are all things now that DRG has to kind of keep in the back of his mind. You know, he has to be aware of the possibility of a 3rd racks being added up with this, behind that command center, and a Marine push coming out with stim and combat shields. He has to also have on his radar that pushes with 2 medevacs and a ton of stim Marines also could be in the field. Those are things that he's lost to twice already against ByuN today.
It looks like a really specific build, but you're right. There's like a lot that's going on behind it. You know, you have that pressure coming out there. And by the way, the pressure has done so much to DRG. We're so used to seeing like Reapers come out and not do anything. Maybe they kill a Ling, maybe not. But with this style that he has, he's really able to actually get some stuff done.
Perhaps that's one of the advantages of going for 3 Reapers like this, is you have so much more micro potential. And, you know, with as good as Maru is, like, I think that Maru is firmly the best Terran in the world. There's nobody that really controls Reapers like ByuN.
Yeah, like if he was a unit, he'd be a Reaper.
Absolutely.
You know, like it's I feel like DRG would be a Ravager. But
I could see that.
But yeah, I mean, he's so good with Reapers. Remember Reapers when the game came out too? Like they were so busted. It's like, yeah, why would you not just only make these things?
That was back when we had, what, 5 racks Reaper almost every single TBZ?
Yeah.
It's like Zerg knows it's coming.
Yeah, these games where it's like 2 Terrans both just making Reapers, it's like, well, this is just, I don't know.
Now, Reapers are still a powerful unit in the hands of a skilled operator like ByuN. As for now, he's delaying that 3rd base from DRG, finding some nice damage there on the Queens, on the Lings. Not as many openings here on this, and actually, ooh, uncharacteristic mistake there by ByuN, losing one of the Reapers.
Yeah, he's basically driven him out. Can't get in there anymore. Oh, and he's going to be ready with these links if he tries to come up onto the side. Hold on a second. What?
I actually can't believe
He just
ByuN.
no-scoped the Queen.
I can't believe you picked that off.
That's embarrassing, man.
Behind this, ByuN adding 2 more barracks. So there's going to be a ton of Marine production underway. These Reapers juking and jiving, trying to dodge. These Zerglings eventually do get taken out. ByuN, with their last breath, will be able to confirm the 3rd hatchery placement has gone down, but I mean, he is pumping Marines right now, 5 at a time. Stim underway, bunker being dropped in front of the 2 racks, and I'm not entirely sure what to make of that.
Well, I think it's to make it look like, I think it's a ruse, basically. It's like, oh no, you're going to attack me, I need to defend. He can't be killed, he has 4 Raxes. But I think if you see that bunker, you're like, oh.
This might be a point where you're vulnerable when in fact you're not.
Or I can expand.
Yeah.
I'm safe to expand, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of mind games,
some
perhaps.
wrinkle brain play right there.
I like it.
Now, combat shield is coming. Stim is almost done. There's got to be a very specific moment where you want to come out, and it should be something that could throw the Zerg off entirely. He might just not be able to handle this balancing act.
Yeah, he wants the timing to hit right when combat shields is finishing up.
Yep.
So factory going underway.
So notice how he's sending small groups out, because it could be very misleading what the Terran is actually working with.
Yeah, and we'll see how long it takes DRG to identify this. I'm not sure if that patrolling Link actually got.
I don't think it can actually get any intel right now.
Okay, well now he knows. That's a lot of Marines coming out. So they are now moving cross map. DRG going to be in full-on Link production, but he just started 5 drones, so he doesn't really have a lot of larvae available. And keep in mind, he's also going for 1-1, so there's a lot of resources invested here in DRG and things that are not going to pay off right away in defending this push.
Yep, combat shields is done. A spine has started over here.
DRG, I think he might be in trouble. Only 14 links to 27 Stim Marines with combat shields.
He's keeping his distance. He's going to stay off the creep. We don't have a counterattack from the Zerg. We don't have reinforcements from the Terran.
Keep in mind, this is do or die right now for both of these players. The loser of this is out of the GSL Codas. The winner will advance to the round of 8.
I don't see the second wave coming, but he can attack with this current wave now. I mean, you know, I respect the fact that he doesn't just have everything rallied out, you know, a bunch of Lings just run in there and kill him.
You know, I think if this was the first series of the day, we would have seen ByuN push into that 3rd base right there. But the fact that this is a must-win game for him, he doesn't want to stretch it too thin. You know, he doesn't want to risk everything on this. Those Marines, they're still going to be here. You don't have to use them right now. You forced a lot of Lings out of DRG. Just kind of play back, go for the guaranteed win, or at least the higher probability win. So we see ByuN playing a little bit more conservatively, building up this army back at home. And looking at the mini-map, I'm not actually sure that we have a 3rd command center here for ByuN.
Oh,
So,
you know what? I haven't even been looking for that, but I think you're probably right. I think he's basically just powered up on 2 bases. He's taken his time. He's brought now the tank down. He did open up those rocks in the middle of the map, so he's going to have a very strong beeline and then go right down here. There are links for a counterattack, so we want to watch for that, because I do believe this next attack coming in here, this is actually the committed push.
Yeah, absolutely. With 2 siege tanks, 40-plus Marines, no 3rd command center in sight. This is everything on the line right now here for ByuN.
Yeah, it's do or die right now or never, as we're seeing ByuN begin to push out.
He's going to start angling over here towards the 4th base of DRG. Not occupied just yet. DRG with those Lings has to decide whether he's going to go for a counterattack or if he's going to go and try and get a 360 surround on this position. A lot of Queens here. And all right, DRG, here he comes.
Oh man, this is a lot of Banes coming up here, but they're not with speed. We see ByuN beginning to kite back over here, but there's so many Lings and so many Banes.
Yep, ByuN continuing to kite back, +1 infantry weapons just now finishing, and he's going to have to lift up unless those Banelings are going to get connections. Able to save about 14 Marines right there. Now DRG going to try and push here into the natural expansion. Nice block there with a siege tank, fantastic positioning, letting the Lings in. And now we feel the momentum swinging back in ByuN's favor. A moment ago, he was on the back foot, retreating back home, and now here he is pushing one yet again.
And we got to point out, it's DRG on 5 bases right now. If ByuN can't end this game now, he may not ever be able to win, because we are really to the point where Terran needs to have a third, maybe even a fourth, if it's going to be kind of a stable game where he can try to match the Zerg economically. That's not what we've got here. Terran's trying to go for the win, and if he can't get it, I don't know why there's a siege tank and a bunch of Marines over here. But yeah, if he can't make this work, it's going to be really bad.
ByuN trying to find out exactly where DRG is set up for these flanks. His reinforcements come out and join his main force on the middle of the map. And keep in mind, ByuN right now, he is on a timer. Only 48 workers, 2 mining bases to the 65 workers of DRG. He has to make something happen soon. I'm worried he might be giving DRG a little bit too much breathing room. Here we go, Marines engaging right here. This fight's actually happening off creep, so DRG going to bleed out a large number of Lings for very little gain.
Yeah, he's going to try to commit down over here onto this 3 o'clock position. There's a big counterattack inbound over here as well. The tanks are going to siege up. Back at home, I just see 1 tank. It is walled in, so he's going to be able to keep that alive for a little bit longer.
So many queens.
Yeah, and I mean, it's crazy how many queens are here. But it looks like DRG is willing to give up this 5th base over here at 3 o'clock.
I think he has to. He has to forfeit this base. ByuN is just entrenched outside of that right now, and DRG is playing a really smart game. He's trying to intercept reinforcements. He's trying to force ByuN to keep some forces back at home. And ByuN, he's just slowly trying to whittle away at this defense, but there's so much transfuse energy here for these queens. We're at over a dozen queens right now over here on defense as DRG feels like he's just getting ready to strike.
Yeah, you know, he's just staying back. He's waiting to get a little bit more supply filled in here. The problem is that ByuN, he takes that base out, but you have to keep pushing.
He has to keep pushing right now as DRG is starting to flood in. Lings coming in on both the top and the bottom sides. Nice splash damage coming in, but it might just be too much Zerg.
Oh my God, it's so much. He does end up going even on supply here, but he's destroyed the position. There's no 3rd base for Terran. He's remade some, but you got to imagine that while supplies are even right now, surely DRGs can spike back up.
And Dongray Goop, during all of this, he's been getting additional upgrades. I believe he right now has +2 Carapace and is just now starting +2 melee weapons, so these Zerglings are going to get even better right here. Keep in mind, ByuN is just completely all in. He has to make something happen, but DRG's been doing such a good job of buying all the time that he needs. Now we're run by. Here the natural expansion does get deflected, but what these run-bys are doing is preventing the reinforcements from joining the main force here out front.
Yeah, and with these small isolated groups of units, it's something that DRG can basically manage. He's still on 4 bases. That's very good versus Terran's 2. I don't think that Terran can even make a 3rd command center. I think he's going to have to mine out his main and float it.
As you said that on the mini-map, that CC lifts up and starts floating down to the 3rd base. And now DRG going to try and converge on this position. Going to try and break out of this. Those Lings get surrounded, but there's not a lot of Banelings, so these Lings are able to trade, or these Marines, excuse me, able to trade quite efficiently before getting picked up.
And now Zerg should have some counterplay. This is where you can't just rely on being turtled up at your entrance, having a tank on the outside and a depot wall and a factory up. And this is where I think we may see the beginning of the end. But, of course, if DRG overextends, if he's a little bit too crass with his movements, then, maybe the game goes on. But, wow, Terran's going to push again.
I think he has to. He doesn't have a 3rd command center yet, and he knows that if he gives DRG the space that he needs, DRG's going to run away with this game with a superior economy. But, the problem is that DRG's upgrades are so good. Soon 2-2 upgrades for DRG to the 1-1 of ByuN. And, on paper, I like ByuN's army more. 60 Marines to 100 Lings. Only 15 Banes right now. You can fight that, but with these 2-2 upgrades, it's so difficult. DRG confident enough to even push off creep right now. He takes down the tanks immediately, and now coming in for a surround on the Marines.
Oh my God, it's just so many Lings. He gets excellent surface area, and that forced a lift. And now the Lings are going to be northbound coming up here to the only expansion really that Terran has. I mean, the natural is going to be mining out in a matter of maybe a minute or 2 even.
Army supply is still very close. ByuN with a very slight army supply advantage, in fact, right now, but you feel like he has to make something happen. And the way that DRG has maneuvered his army across the map with counterattacks, with run-bys, and then converging back on the forward position and cleaning up the Marines and siege tanks that ByuN keeps bringing out, he's just buying himself so much time. It's been minutes and minutes where ByuN's been trying to get something done. Hasn't. Here comes DRG yet again.
This is another huge surround. There are enough infantry to actually drive this away, but what really does ByuN have left at this point in time?
I'm not sure if he's going to be able to break this. His Marine count's very healthy right now, 36 Marines to only 20 Lings here for DRG. As DRG is kind of up against the ropes. That was a lot of Lings that went down, but keep in mind, the upgrade advantage for DRG is critical.
Yeah, those Lings are going to come up here and actually intercept some more of these Marines that were coming up with the rest of the group. Is going to take that tank out. As you can see, ByuN is desperate to try to take out one of these bases down here. More Banes have been hatched. There's plenty of Queens on the map. Zerg is now taking the bottom left and has reclaimed 3 o'clock, which was destroyed earlier in the initial push.
Yeah, Zerg has all these hatcheries, but I feel like it's mostly just for larvae for all these Lings. Look at the worker count. We've actually fallen from the 60s all the way down to 56, so the economies are more or less starting to equalize here, although DRG obviously has more potential to grow should the pressure stop. And ByuN right now, his army, I mean, he's taking all of these trades and he's somehow making it work. He's somehow staying in this game. If he's able to get some more momentum, one big fight could swing this in his favor.
Yeah, I think you're making a good point, State. It's like ByuN, he doesn't have that much, but he's really kind of making DRG work for it. He's actually going to be hitting the base down here at 6 o'clock, and this hatchery is going to fall as well.
I think ByuN might actually be coming back right now. There's almost a 1-to-1 ratio of Marines to Lings, and that rarely goes well for Zerg. DRG is going to need a big surround right here.
Yeah, he's done so well. He picks up unless the Liberators do even more damage. And, you know...
Oh, the control.
It's crazy. There's so many Queens being hit here.
There's no answer for the Liberators. We see DRG threw in a Hydralisk Den to try to stop this, but ByuN is just gaining momentum right now. DRG with the superior economy, the superior upgrades, higher base count, It doesn't matter. ByuN just keeps powering.
I can't believe it. I think ByuN just won this game.
Unbelievable.
He's just picking up. All he has to do is regroup and come in here with maybe one just killer push. And the only new expansion Zerg has is this one that's sticking out in the middle of the map.
This army does not get stopped, Tasteless. That is too much bio, too many siege tanks, too many Liberators. Now 2-2 starting for ByuN. I think we might see ByuN advancing to the round of 8.
I think you're probably right, State. I mean, this is just... I just think there's just too much here from Terran. He's going to come down now. He's got a drop coming into the main. He could end up taking out the Baneling's Nest even over here. Zerg is going to send some stuff back, but you only do drops like this so you can set up a proper push in the front of their base.
Yep. ByuN just unrelenting with this aggression. The worker counts now. DRG falling all the way down to 49 as ByuN is getting ready for a push, but this is a big counterattack over here at ByuN's third base. More SCVs going down. DRG desperately trying to stabilize Tasteless.
DRG doesn't have any time to go back. 19 SCVs have been picked off, so it's now 25 workers total for ByuN, 49 workers total for DRG. This is becoming a very scrappy game.
This game is absolutely crazy right now. ByuN with the army supply advantage, but if DRG is able to take a good engagement after killing those 20+ SCVs, he can finally ride this one out to a win.
Okay, so the push is going to come down again. Now, you know, that counterattack put DRG back in this game, but it's really all going to come down to the clashing of these two armies. And, you know, DRG's taking a beating, but he's basically managed to always find another expansion, another place to grow into on the map.
He's so desperate to get another mining base, as even this third base right now can only have 8 workers efficiently mine minerals from it, and ByuN just is unrelenting. Well, this aggression just keeps coming in. DRG on the left side getting set up for another flank, Tasteless.
He's coming in over here. There are siege tanks set up, and Liberators here as well. The Hydras are going to be able to gun them down. I only see infantry on the run right now. This has been such an insane game.
40+ Marines are pretty much all that ByuN has right now, as well as this group of medevacs, but DRG at the same time, his army is also very small. These Marines, they can start chasing down. There's only 3 Banelings on the field.
There's 2-2 upgrades are done here for the infantry as well. They might be strong enough to take on these Hydras. More reinforcements going to come down in here with the mix. I see some Banes, but maybe not enough. The Link's coming here as well. I think ByuN is actually getting fought back.
Yeah, DRG might have done it with that counterattack at the 3rd base in this defense here. At his 4th, he might actually be able to survive here. I mean, this game has just went up and down over and over for both of these players. ByuN still only on 2 command centers, 25 SCVs to 42 drones. ByuN trying to make something happen right now, but DRG adding in all these Hydralisks to the mix adds so much more firepower to his army.
I mean, this is just such a good game. This has been by far the best game of the whole night. We're ending on a high note here. This push is going to come in once more. Does he actually have enough? He's going to target down this hatchery. Not the most valuable target, but it's something. You'll take anything in a game like this. Somehow that hatchery survives.
7 more drones go down. So we have another engagement here. Link's coming in from the top. We'll be able to get us around on that siege tank. These Marines desperately trying to kite away, but it feels like there isn't enough here in the front for ByuN. More reinforcements coming across the map. He really doesn't want to lose these medevacs.
Right when he thinks he can get those medevacs, more reinforcements come in. Remember that there's really nothing protecting the 3rd base here for ByuN. It's just that ByuN has been pushing so hard that DRG really hasn't had any time to even send anything over there. Drones are being pulled. That's never a good sign.
No, it's not. ByuN might just be able to break this position here. Coming in yet again, another siege tank is sieged. These 2 medevacs are the only healing. The drones are pulled. They're trying to come in. DRG bleeding supply right now, down to 25 workers. I think ByuN has done it.
ByuN's going to come in once more. Just some Hydras over here to defend. The medevacs go down. He's chasing him back. He's holding him off. I can't believe it.
This game is insane. 58 supply to 52. 25 workers to 25. ByuN will be able to chase down some of these Hydralisks, but he has to regroup. In total right now, 20 Marines, 2 medevacs, and 1 siege tank on the field here for ByuN. DRG going to try and transfer these drones to that 4th base. He has to populate it. He has to get more economy. Now the natural expansion for ByuN. Lifting to the 4th. DRG looking for another counterattack. And as you said earlier, Tasteless, there isn't a lot of defense here for ByuN. It's been all aggression, so more SCVs are going to fall.
Yeah, here come that infantry now. I think that there might just be not enough over here. Now, SCVs are being killed off, by the way. Doesn't matter. GG. ByuN takes it.
The Marines are too much. What an insane game.
We didn't catch it on camera, but there was a Link counterattack that killed off a dozen SCVs, but it was too late. There was enough infantry, enough sustain in the push there that ByuN came out victorious. GSL is back.
Wow. That was
crazy. Oh, I'm on camera. Hello.
That was a game.
That was a game. That was such a crazy game.
Yeah, that's one of the best TVs.
That's one of the best ones
ever
ever.
Seen.
that was so sick.
Yeah.
You literally didn't know who was going to win until the last second.
It was so back and forth. I mean, ByuN just on his last legs on 2 command centers for literally the entire game, floating down to take a 4th base with a 2nd TC. You can just see the army supplies swinging back and forth constantly. Armies just getting wiped, getting reset, getting rebuilt.
ByuN was taking on a Zerg. He had 2 bases. He was against a 5-base Zerg.
It was
had to use his main command
crazy.
center to just land that at the 3rd. Didn't even have anything protecting it. Had DRG maybe just taken Lings, like 10 Lings a couple more times and sent it over there, maybe he wins that. And they were both taking so many losses, nobody was able to remake workers.
Yeah, I felt like every single time I would go and look down at DRG's worker count, it would be like 2 or 3 drones less than it was a minute ago.
Yeah.
So it was at the 60s, and then it fell to the 50s, and then it fell to the 40s, and it's like, okay, what is happening here?
Yeah.
ByuN is somehow working his way back. And then the counterattack comes in, and ByuN goes down to 25 SCVs. And then he has to lift his natural command center into a 4th base. But still, he just has just enough steam to win the final deciding match.
Interview time. 1 map away from being eliminated. It seems like you poured everything you had inside of you into that game. How do you feel? Up till the end, I wasn't sure if I was going to win or not. I'm so happy. I'm almost happier winning this here than I would be at a normal offline match. Until the very end, I just didn't know what to expect. I was just giving it my all.
지금 이렇게 지금 모든 게 지금 거의 뭔가 이 형체가
So I'm
사라질
just
정도로 모두가
kept telling myself, don't give up, just keep
지금 화면에
fighting.
보니까 이
and I did
화질이
it.
하나하나 이제 하얗게
Yeah, we could feel that in the game.
혹시 좀 이제 추가
It
질문
seems like you were using every fiber of your being to win. Do you have? He says your camera resolution's really, really bad. Do you have any plans to get a new camera? So we can get better resolution. This camera is actually really expensive. It's a good quality camera.
아 이게 약간 징크스인가 법칙인가?
오히려 그러니까 저도 성주한테 들었거든요. 저 화면이 좀 잘 안 나온다는 거를. 오히려 부담감이 더.
So I heard from Maru that
뭐 위장 테란.
그렇죠.
that my webcam seems trashy,
다시 보게 되거든요.
그렇죠, 그렇죠.
그리고 변현 선수가 팬미팅
but that reduces my pressure. I feel less stressed. This bad image quality.
그렇죠. 오프라인에 와라.
오프라인에 날 보러
그때
와라.
나의 진정한 모습 보여주겠다. 정말 오늘 그 조성주 선수에게 대결에서 아쉽게 패배를 했잖아요. 그러면 서로의 여기서
Yeah, and then the caster park says, well, then I guess you're saying that you really want people to come offline and see what the finals, and we have an audience again. So your match against Maru, you had a little bit of trash talk in the chat room. But you actually had some great games. And after I had the match against Maru, I felt like I wasn't as focused. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to advance or not. But since, you know, when I'm playing at my home, which is the most comfortable place for me to play, I think that helped me out a little bit. I was able to stay comfortable.
이 정도면 근데 오프라인 상황 갔을 때 렌을 데리고 와야겠는데요.
그러니까요.
거의 소울 프렌드.
네, 뒤에서 지금 보입니다.
네.
인형인 것 같죠, 여러분?
인형
예,
아니에요.
인형
아,
아닙니다.
지금 인터뷰 함께 하고 있네요.
카메라에 좀 나오고 있습니다. 지금 저희 코치거든요.
Oh, I guess the puppy's in the background. I just noticed the puppy's back there. He said, yeah, it's my coach. He says the puppy keeps him relaxed.
Does
he have any words to your pets? I want to say thank you to my coach, the dog,
뭐 조성 선수와의 경기는 이미 끝나는 거니까 그거 논외로 오늘 저그전을
keeping me cool. Aren't you glad this is translated, guys?
여러 가지 파생되는 빌드를 보여줬잖아요. 최근 저그전의 트렌드는 투병형 사신으로 주도권 잡는 게 정답인 것 같나요?
이거는 저만 하는 팝업인데 요즘에
So there's been two builds that have been Zergs have been doing. I don't know which builds they're talking about. There's basically a question about the meta. He says the two Rex Reaper build. You gonna open with Hellion or with two Rex? It's basic. The base build the Terrans have been using recently. It's probably going to be very popular. You're probably going to see a lot of it in this tournament. See into the next rounds. Any goals for the season? I'm really happy. I'm doing the GSL. It's good to be back. And I'm very happy with my performance. I did better than I expected. I think this is going to be a big opportunity for me. I've already met Maru. That means I won't be meeting him in the next round. So I hope I get a lot of support from the fans. I think I can do very well in the season. And obviously, even though GSL's gotten smaller, personally, I'm going to practice even harder. This tournament is even more important to me now. So cheer for me, guys. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. GSL's back. Group A is done. The expected players moved on. I got to say that was a crazy game. That's one you could watch many times over. It was so close, so epic.
Yeah, that was an all-time great match.
That was definitely one of the greatest GSL matches literally ever. You could not have asked for a better game. Sorry to Nightmare and DRG, but, you know, it's a tough group. Maru moves on. Maru very well may win this entire thing. ByuN, of course, look, he played very well. I think we can all be happy that he advances on. So 2 Terrans survive into the round of 8.
Yeah, 2 Terrans advancing from the round of 8. You know, a lot of people, when this patch hit, they were talking about how Zergs are probably going to be dominating everything even more than before, but so far, Terran's looking pretty unstoppable. So we get a look over here at our next match. It's going to be on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. KST. Hero Keen, Cure, and Solar. Another nice mix, 2 Terrans, 1 Protoss, 1 Zerg. Should be a lot of fun to watch.
It's going to be a great day. That's Thursday, same time, same place. We're going to be on every Tuesday and every Thursday. No live audiences. I was very sad. We had some people show up today that we had to turn away. We will have a live audience for the final day. So the Final Four and the finals are all played in one day. Kind of like we used to do in Super Tournament. So I'll see you in 2 days, State.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's good to be back. It's sad that we're a little bit smaller, but we got to find a way to go on. Do check out the GSL Patreon. That money does go to support the prize pool. 100% of that.
Yep, 100% of proceeds from Patreon, or if you're watching on a Frigate TV, supporting there as well.
Balloons.
We'll go to balloons, thank you. I forgot which.
The balloons give us the power.
I forgot if it was like stars or balloons.
I think it's balloons. Yeah. It's balloons. It's balloons. Come on.
Well, yeah, all of that support goes directly into funding the prize pool.
Right.
And making this tournament even better for the players.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, without the players, there would be no StarCraft like this.
It's kind of like that, like adopt a whale thing, but it's like you just adopt a tournament.
Adopt a whale?
Or adopt a highway. Yeah, you
I've heard of adopt a highway.
Send money to
a whale.
Yeah, that's when I was a kid. They were adopting whales. So for the best viewing experience, you can see that link there. I don't know why we're showing that at the end of the show, but next time, if you're tuning in, I guess it's like a picture-in-picture if it's on YouTube, but if you want to see the normal viewing experience, that's the link.
Yeah, I noticed on YouTube there's this little kind of like screen that's like set up like this that borders around the edges, but the Frigate TV portal has the direct view, the full resolution, maximum quality, best way to watch GSL. And,
so go there. Yeah.
I'm excited for the matches on Thursday, man. We had great matches today with Maru and ByuN advancing. Gonna get to watch Hero on Thursday as well. Should be fun.
And we've already lost a Zerg. We only had 3 Zergs for the round of 16. Yeah. So
we only have 2 left.
I mean, yeah. I mean, is
Zerg underpowered?
Oh, I hope so. It's about time. All right, guys. That's all the time we have. We love you. We'll see you in 2 days. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Only online. No studio audiences for this season. We love you. Take care. Bye-bye.